Welcome back to what is hopefully the last part of this ridiculously expensive custom-made vanity. The top is positioned where it's going to be glued in place. I've marked underneath where I believe the sinkhole is going to go, as well as the front edge of the undermounted flange. So now I'm going to check, double check, recheck, and then do it all over again. The placement of the top on the vanity to make sure that when I go to finally mount this, everything's going to fit right. I think it'll work. What do you think of the lighting in here? I got this new remote control light. It's like I'm on a theater. Whoa. There you go. There's white. I had you on gold. We'll just leave it on white for now. So it appears that the flange, remember I trimmed off the front flange, still protrudes a little bit into the face frame. Now I can trim out the face frame another 1/8, or I can take my, maybe I can't. I'll probably trim the face frame. I'll show you what I'm talking about. This face frame here, I can retake my router and just trim off a little bit more. And I think we're good to go. This is that line again, and you can see where it goes up into this notch. And I think we're good to go. Guess what? My pencil doesn't roll off the table either. Anybody get that joke? Exactly what I was hoping to find. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the size of the hole that I have to drill through that quartz countertop. All I got to fit are these 3 things. This all thread here and the hot and the cold. These are on soft copper lines, so they can get kind of manipulated around and squished in. And why I'm happy is because my hole saw that is diamond encrusted, designed to cut through this, is 1 3/8 inches, and I can see I clearly have plenty of room to put this through that hole. Got the top resting on a piece of foam insulation, the same foam insulation that I was using to support the plywood that made the vanity. This is the diamond hole saw. Got a cup of water right there, and I think this is going to be, oh yeah, plenty thick enough to go through. Hopefully this doesn't catch and ruin my entire top. Okay, it started. It was wobbling around there for a bit, but did it start in the right spot? I think it did. No scratches or marring or anything. That's a good start. I'm going to keep this guide pushed down until this cut is at least an 1/8 inch deep. Then I'll remove it and it'll self-guide through. One thing I wanted to point out before I get too far into this is I have my drill chuck set on its lightest setting. The last thing I want this to do is grab and torque down and crack the side out, or somehow pop out and run across the top. So this should alleviate that threat by setting it to its lightest setting. Getting close. I think that was it. Whew, that's kind of hot in there. Yeah, it's just a little warm. Yeah, there it is. It didn't mess it up. Bottom side of the top doesn't look too good. I'm going to give it a clean up with some acetone in preparation for the glue. As you can see, I got the sink flange scuffed up. What did I use? I used 40 grit sandpaper and went around the gluing surface and just scuffed it up, try to create more of a mechanical bond between the top and the sink. But now I gotta go through and make sure that it's all clean. And again, I'm gonna do that with acetone. Now you're probably wondering, what is he gonna glue the top to the sink with? Normally I use epoxy, 2-part epoxy mixed up, run it around and set it on top, and I'll be underneath it aligning it. This one here I'm doing a little bit different. I'm using Power Grab Ultimate. This is supposed to be the best of the best of the best, and there's a whole list of everything that it glues. It glues just about everything. So the idea is to run a bead all the way around here, bring that top over and set it right down in the exact spot that it needs to go. I've got a little bit of wiggle room because I don't want to smush it all out onto the white, quartz face or out onto this. Stuff is pretty thick, and one of the reasons I chose this over epoxy is this sink flange here is not flat. There's up to a 1/16 of an inch variance. I beat a lot of this thing with a hammer last night trying to get it flat, and got it as good as I can. Well, that's it. Feels good. It's on there perfectly aligned. This is gonna work perfect. I got my front edge done good. This is gonna take 24 hours to cure, and be ready to drop on, glue it on, hook the plumbing up, and it'll be done. Take a guess. How much did all this cost these customers? We'll have to have a contest to see who gets the closest.